Okay, Nasai Minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 12. A lot of interesting thing we actually get to see in this episode, but there's also a little bit of weird plot hole going on in the story. But with that being said, let us talk about Jeremy. Okay, like the first big Nani the F moment is the fact that he is in fact a hybrid between a human and a Bugnarak. I did not see this coming at all, but this is a really smart way to explain why he can live for such a long ass time. Bugnarak can, I would assume Bugnarak have a long lifespan and all those stuff, and that is why he is able to live for such a long time. So that is really insane. Okay, but with that being said, like, let me move on to a topic that I really want to discuss here, and that is whether or not Jeremy is indeed the first hybrid that was actually created between the love of human and Bugnarak itself. It could actually be like the most famous hybrid, but it doesn't mean that he is the first hybrid. There could actually be a possibility that in the past, before the Bugnarak and human actually goes to war, there's already a lot of, you know, like kind of like love between human and Bugnarak. But that is just an idea. And in order for Jeremy to actually create a kingdom of himself, like to kind of like re-establish his kingdom, his father's kingdom, as the king of the in-betweens, the where he meet both Bugnarak and also human, he would definitely need like a land, and he also need some citizen, like people who believe that residing with the Bugnarak is actually a good thing, and living with the Bugnarak is actually a good thing, something like that. And we also need Bugnarak who thinks that, hey, living with human is also a good thing as well. So he would definitely need all this stuff to establish the kingdom, or unless he wants to kind of like take over Rakli's place to kind of like the king of Sugar Dam, and kind of announce to the entire world like, bro, right now we are living together with the Bugnarak, something like that. But with that being said, let me move on to the next thing. So the next thing I want to talk about is Rakles. Okay, Rakles, when he heard about the news of Jeremy and all those stuff, he seems not surprised at all. It almost made me felt like maybe the Ohsama Caliber Zero was handed to him by Jeremy itself. Okay, like Jeremy is indeed the guy that actually handed him the Ohsama Caliber Zero. But then again, I am not sure. Okay, I like Jeremy is pulling strings since 2000 years ago. He is also the one that actually teaches the master of Yanma Jin that we never met before the way to awaken the Shugos and all those stuff. And the first one that was being woken up is actually the spider Kumos itself. But one thing we need to pay attention here is that the spider Kumos, we actually get to see spider Kumos on King-Ohger itself. But and you might be thinking to yourself, like, then what about the shoe god that Jeremy is gonna use? Is he gonna use that little spider that become one of the crotch part of King-Ohger to be his Zord? No, okay, like based on what we see in the next episode preview, he is gonna get a full-on giant shoe god. He is and I already saw a couple of photos of the shoe gods. It looks really amazing. It kind of, like the way the entire Megazord looks, it reminds me a lot of the machine, the mecha in Code Geass. I think it really reminds me of a lot of Lancelot from Code Geass. So that is something really amazing. But I was talking about Rakles, okay? Like, so he doesn't seem surprised at all. So maybe when we watch a few other episodes regarding the secret of Rakles, we might actually learn a lot more truth. Okay, we might learn that he actually met this Spider-Man before, this Jeremy guy before, and he's not that surprised and all those stuff. But then again, at the same time, like there could be other thing going on behind the scene that we still are not so sure about, because for some weird reason, like Rakles seems to kind of like doesn't really take the threat of the Bugnarak that seriously. Like he is using it for his own political gain and all those stuff. So he is a schemer as well, just as how just like how Debowski is also a schemer. But speaking of Debowski and Rakles, one thing that I really did not see coming is the fact that Debowski actually has a sister which is under the care of Rakles right now, and it could be a lot of reason on why like Dybowski's sister is under the care of Rakles. First, she is sick, but if she is sick, if she is sick, it doesn't make sense for Dybowski to send Rakles towards Dybowski to send the sister under the care of Rakles, because the one that have the ultimate like kind of like medical unit and medical care belongs to Ishabana, belongs to Himeno Ran. So why not send to Himeno rather than Rakles itself? So there is another reason why Dybowski's sister is under the care of Rakles. Second possibility that I can think of is marriage. Like, you know, like Rakles has a wife, okay? Like maybe Rakles has a wife that we never saw before, and that wife turns out to be Dybowski's sister. And you know, the way Rakles talk about the Dybowski's sister, it almost sounds like they are very, very close, something like that. Because Rakles said that, hey, your sister is so much more honest, so much more straightforward than you, something like that. So maybe that is the reason we are not sure, okay? Like why, or maybe Dybowski. Yeah, I think the marriage thing definitely hold much more sense, because Dybowski wanted to kind of like the Shugod to favor them a little bit more, so that is why they kind of like fortify their relationship by a marriage, and arranged marriage. And that is why until today we can't really see Dybowski fully betray Rakles, like fully ignore Rakles and push him aside, something like that, because at the end of the day his sister is in the house of Rakles right now. So that is really scary and really funny. Not funny, what am I trying to say, because my mind is moving way too much, because the next thing I want to talk about is a funny thing, okay? Like this episode we get to see a lot of funny scene. The first funny scene that we actually get to see is Himeno getting silent by Jeremy with a spider web to the mouth straight away to silence her off, so that he can talk more, okay? One thing about Himeno is like she always wants the screen time. She always wants to be the one that speak the loudest, speak the most, something like that. So really scary stuff. But the next funny scene is when they actually try out the lie detector thing, and then boom, that is like, oh man, like get shocked by lightning. Like Gira just shot by lightning straight away, and then next thing is Shiokara also gets shocked by lightning. So this is really insane. But it is also in that scene we actually learn that the one that teaches the master of Yanma about the tech, how to use a laptop, how to kind of like think about and kind of like do research about how to create and communicate with the Shugod, is all of those things came from Jeremy, and we are not sure how many other things he has pulled behind the scene, okay? So, and we also learned the first one to move is the god Kumono, but that is not the Shugod, okay? So maybe one thing I realized that they call it the god Tento, the god Kumo, but they don't call it the Shugod. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not even sure what is the name that, what is the name of the Shugod that Jeremy is gonna use if it is not Kumo? Is it gonna be the spider Shugod, something like that? I'm not sure, okay? I'm really not sure. But the next thing we get to see is him moving towards the, I think, the Ishabana, and he returns the soul of Scorpy to Himeno Ran. So how about the rest of the soul stone, okay? Like, who is he gonna keep it, or is he gonna give it to someone else? Is he gonna give it to Gira, something like that? We are not sure, okay? We don't actually see anything happening. So in this episode, the main focus of the story is kind of like talking about how all the five kings is trying to figure out whether or not Jeremy is actually a good guy or a bad guy. But at the same time, Jeremy is also trying to determine the worth of the current five kings as well. And finally, at the end of the day, when he revealed to them who he truly is, like instead of rejecting him and instead of kind of like fearing for him, like they accepted him. Like Gira has a epic scene where he actually like the camera zoom into his eyes, go into his brain cells, and like connecting all of the every single thing that he heard for the entire day. And at the end of the day, He answered, "What the hell just happened? I still don't get it." That is an epic scene, epic comedy, okay? Because that just that reveal how stupid Gira actually is. He is insanely stupid, man. Like, I don't know what to say. But the next funny thing we get to see is Rita being an ultimate introvert. Like, once he heard when he heard Jeremy saying "I love you," like, Rita first instinct is like to strike down this for what is this? Don't give me like don't give me affection, something like that. But all of us secretly know that Rita, you just need to break through the eyes of Rita and she's gonna be very, very mellow and very, very like soft towards you, just like how she is very, very soft in front of Morphone. Okay, so that is something really, really amazing. And next we get to see the henshin sequence for Spider Kumonos. The first time we get to see him henshin, and I am really, really surprised that we don't actually see him using the BGM of "We Are the King," like, because like when the rest of the Ohsama henshin, there's always like "We are the king, we are the king," something like that. But we don't actually hear that at all, and but instead we actually hear something kind of funky and cute. I'm not sure how to describe that sound, but when after he henshin, he landed on the floor, we actually get to hear "Spider Kumonos," something like that. So really, really interesting stuff. But that weapon, that henshin item, is not created by Yanma, and maybe that is why he doesn't actually put in the sound effect of "We Are the King" inside the sword, because that is kind of like decided by Yanma, I would say, because he is indeed the guy that actually designed the weapon of the Sentai itself. But lastly, I just want to talk about how he, like, it is quite obvious that the Desunara that we saw right here is not that strong, really not that strong. Okay, like, he is being able to be taken down by Jeremy himself. Like, if all of the Sentai actually go in and strike him, he is dead, boy. He is definitely dead. But right now the story of Ohsama Sentai is shifting a little bit. Rather than eliminating and eradicating the Bugnarak, they are right now trying to see and trying to kind of like see how they can actually live together with the Bugnarak itself. But with that being said, there's also a one, they set up quite a lot of plot that has yet to have any payoff yet. The first plot that they set up that we are really excited to see is the killer of Himeno's parents. That is the first one. The second one is the prime minister thing. Like, is it really a personal act of Raklias? And we don't even know like what Raklias is trying to do here. Okay, so that is something that we're still waiting. And the next thing is Gin's, like, the relationship between Gin and Yanma. Like, we might actually get to see a flashback scene when he's going through some character development arc. And lastly, it is the sister of Dvorsky. What is the relationship between sister of Dvorsky and also Raklias itself? With that being said, that is all from me. Hope you enjoyed this video regarding Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger episode 12. If you made it this far into the video, you are a legend, man, and that is something that I really, really respect. But I just want to ask you to comment the word spider without an S in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the video of today's episodic breakdown. That is all. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.